please welcome Dr. Shri Pemmasani and Ben Nguyen.
UWorld is recognized as a leader in education, setting the standard for how students learn and achieve. What began with a vision to make complex concepts clear has grown into a trusted resource used by millions. Our approach goes beyond test prep, shaping confident learners who not only master their exams, but also carry that knowledge into future success.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, good looking crowd. My name is Ben Nguyen from the great state of Texas, and I'm so honored to welcome Dr. Shri Pemmasani,
Thank you.
co-founder of UWorld and the Pemmasani Global Foundation. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making the trip from India.
Thank you, Ben. It's an honor for me to be here and actually share the story of UWorld and our journey beyond UWorld.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. So I just want to re-emphasize those stats again, okay? Founded in 2002, 4.2 million users across the globe.
Thank you.
All right, I like that. Let's keep it going. 4.2 billion questions attempted in just the last 5 years. 4,150 global partnerships with academic institutions, and 35 plus products and services such as USMLE, CFA, CPA, MCAT, and so many more. Okay, Shri, how did you, Dr. Chandra Pemmasani, and your two brothers, one of which is here now, start UWorld?
So this was in 2001. We just freshly graduated medical school in India. Me and my husband Chandra, we moved to US to pursue further medical education. So along with our two brothers who were in engineering, so we all stayed on the same university campus. I enrolled in master's program while Chandra was pursuing further medical education. So in order to get into residency program, you had to give USMLE exams. These are United States medical licensing exams, which is a 3-part exam. It's very rigorous. You have to score really well in those exams. So in order to do that, many would take coaching. You would require coaching for those exams. It was very expensive. In those days, you had to at least spend $2,000 to $5,000 per step, and then classes were in person, and you had to they were offered only in select cities. So it was not an option for many people. Chandra, being top student, he prepared for the exams, and while preparing, he made his own notes. So we realized during this whole process, it must be so difficult for non-English speaking students and for students who could not afford. This process itself is so difficult to pursue further medical education here in US. So once he secured his residency, he pitched in a test prep book and reached out to publishers. He was 25 and he was deemed too young to publish a medical book. So we, being on the university campus, he got to see firsthand how the students were collaborating with researchers worldwide and really getting beautiful work done. So that's when the idea sparked. Why can't we just put up a medical website for medical test prep? So he wanted to do it for free, but you know, when you provide something for free, the value is undermined. So we just launched UWorld in 2002 with step 3 for $19.99, which was affordable and accessible worldwide. That's how it started.
Awesome. $19.99. I'm glad it wasn't free. So how did your medical experiences between you and Dr. Chandra help with the further creation of UWorld?
So medical education heavily relies on the teacher and memorization. You know, the topics are complex. So Chandra always felt these complex topics could be simplified by visualization. So when you explain these complex topics better, you can retain the subject instead of just relying on memorization. So visualization will help you retain the subject, and these formed our guiding principles for UWorld. High quality education, simplified teaching methods, then affordability and accessibility. So these are the guiding principles that have come to us through the experience of our own medical education.
I love it. What was the turning point in UWorld?
I think we have been blessed. People, medical students loved our content from the time we launched it. And within 10 years, we had 95% of the market share. So without even sales and marketing team. So it was purely word of mouth. And then if we have to think of a turning point, it's when we entered nursing, MCAT, law, finance. That's probably the turning point for UWorld.
Okay. 95% market share. Okay. So we are at an Asian conference with high achievers and high expectations. Should we have tried to get to 99%?
I'm actually being
like that.
modest.
We should have got to 99%.
Yeah, we were. I was just being modest.
Okay.
We were 99%.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just being modest. Very, very Asian. So that's incredible.
Thank you.
95 to 99%.
Yes.
I give that an A.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Thank you.
So what lessons have you all learned along the way?
I think the most important thing is building great team and product requires time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're given that time and if you're patient, not just chasing numbers, your success is long term. That's what we continue to do.
That's fantastic. All right, so one more thing about UWorld. What advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Of course, when it comes to advice, we have a lot of things to say,
Yeah.
but most importantly, doing thorough market research.
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe in your product, when we started UWorld, Kaplan was the biggest player. We could not even fathom the idea of competing with Kaplan at that point. So if once you have built a product, if you have confidence, don't be intimidated by the big players in the market. So that's one thing. And Chandra always insists on solving day-to-day problems with innovative ideas. Solve common problems. And then the third thing is be mindful of the impact your product is going to have on the society. And financial planning and mindful expansion, these having mentors and reading widely, and most important in my view is building a great family support network system and choosing your partner wisely. It's very important. It's as important as you building your company. So
That was fantastic. Wow, you're doing great.
thank you.
Okay, we're gonna do a pivot now and talk about philanthropy. Okay, JP Morgan team, can you please share the video?
Pemmasani Global Foundation is a catalyst for human potential. Guided by the vision to educate, empower, and enable, the foundation primarily works across education, skill development, and livelihoods among children and women. It also tries to bridge gaps in rural healthcare and infrastructure. Built with local partners, each project is designed for sustainability. What began as a personal mission to support local communities has grown into a platform enabling corporates and philanthropists to invest in change. With over 500,000 plus lives impacted, the foundation focuses on solving problems that often fall through the cracks, not as charity, but as community-led progress, to grow from where we are to where we can be.
Thank you.
I love the clapping in between. This is great.
We are so proud to be there.
So, Sri, tell this audience about your mission and vision.
So if we think of us, me and Chandra have always been, the core of us is always to make something better, to empower people, to make it better for individuals. So when we reflect upon our lives, from being students to physicians, you touch certain number of people. And then from being physicians, we were educators. Our reach was larger. And then now into public life. So this scale is much more bigger. So, but the goal and the essence of it is always to empower the individuals and make it better for them. So we, here in US, through UWorld, we do provide scholarships, we do provide discount pricing and Our employees participate in community programs, reaching out to children with great enthusiasm. And through our foundation, we do similar initiatives in India, primarily focusing on children and women empowerment. So, but the essence of it is mainly to educate, to empower, and to enable. Those are the guiding principles for our foundation. And coming to this transition that you have seen, we have been here for 25 years in the United States, and this was driven, our move to India was driven by unrest in our home state. 2024, Chandra was elected as Member of Parliament, which is equivalent to being a congressman here in United States, and he is appointed as a Minister of State for Rural Development and Telecom. So this is giving us an added advantage. You know, you have that rural development, you can actually reach out to women who really deserve this help. So it positioned us in a unique position to facilitate these both things, the foundation activity and public service together. So that's where we are.
Wow. We've known each other for 15 years almost.
Yeah.
It's been an honor to watch you all, and now this pivot to public service and what you're doing. It's amazing. Through the last week, I've been kind of anointing her the unofficial First Lady of India. No. So we're gonna keep the theme going. So tell us about your focus on education.
So education, I think we have the whole community here which emphasize on education. Yes, we do believe in investing in our children and investing in education for brighter future. But we personally feel education has been unchanged for quite a while. It's facing rising costs and then ineffective teaching methods and also outdated curriculum. I have seen my own kids go through this education system both here in US and in India. I personally believe we are running behind resume buildings rather than empowering our kids to become what they should be, you know. Our focus is mainly becoming like college admissions. And despite of doing all this, I still feel there is a huge lack of essential life skills in our own kids. That's what I have been observing largely. So we feel like education and the curriculum should be more holistic. We have to combine old world wisdom with modern innovation, meaning like we are forgetting some basic skills like farming, like, you know, financial literacy. These are not even taught. These are not even subjects anywhere. So we have to combine these both, and we are working on that right now. And we are building a school which will start next year in India. Yeah.
That's a tremendous investment. Tell us about the focus on women.
So when it comes to women, I have to say like 60% of Indian population is rural, and in that around almost 50% are women. And this is all untapped energy. They're not well educated or lack of skills. We can reach out to these women and empower them with some skills and some financial literacy. I think it would be, they can attain livelihoods. And once we do that, if we bring a woman into workforce and give her livelihood, it becomes very natural for her kids to follow her. Yep. And I don't think the family will ever go back into poverty again. So keeping that in mind, we have built a facility where we train around 140 women to become nursing aides, data entry receptionists, and every 3 months we change the curriculum. You know, sometimes it could be training them in cooking, it could be tailoring. So these kind of curriculums we do train these women and provide livelihood for them.
Tremendous. How do you all create sustainable change?
So this is very important. I believe in any foundation, on any work we do, is you know, making sure this continues, that is enabling. So as I mentioned earlier, like we are in a very unique position, especially Chandra being Minister of State for Rural Development. We have an added advantage of enabling government schemes for women, like, you know, to just make sure these could reach the right people, whoever are in need of it. So we are enabling that. And we work with other foundations where we provide job opportunities. Once you have skilled them, you need to show job opportunities. So when we collaborate with other foundations, it becomes much easier. And also collaborating with successful people and corporates. There are many successful people who want to do philanthropic activities, but they're not sure if their money would be, utilized to the right cause. Chandra has built that trust. They have understood his story and his journey. So he has built tremendous trust, and people are willing to collaborate with him. We are able to assess the community needs. We build community halls. Corporates have enabled us to provide mobile clinics to the rural India. So on. There are like several things we are able to do by collaboration.
Yeah. They've also built trust with you too.
Yeah. Because I am on the ground. I just go by myself. So they do know.
Well, you got all of us here too.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, speaking of all that, tell us more details about the Pemmasani Global Foundation.
So initially, all the foundation work that we were doing is just personal. We were just doing it through Pemmasani Foundation. But as I have mentioned, he has built great trust. People have watched us and they have known our journey. They want to collaborate through us. So we have made it global now. It is Pemmasani Global Foundation is registered both in US and in India. And its day-to-day activities are monitored by my brother-in-law, Mr. Ravi. We want to ensure every rupee that's donated reaches the cause. Because when we started, when we were young, I used to look for foundations. When I wanted to donate, I would look at foundations and find that majority of the chunk was going for management of the foundations. But I found one foundation, Doctor Without Boundaries, where the chunk of the money goes to the actual cause. So I always wanted to be that, so we make sure that when somebody donates, every dollar or rupee is spent towards the actual cause.
Yep, that's great. So you and your family run this incredible corporation based out of Dallas, Texas. You have this amazing foundation. You have this amazing mission. He is in Parliament. There's a lot going on. How do you manage the challenges that come with all this? How do you manage and continue to stay motivated? And tell us about...
See, when we don't feel this as work, that's the whole thing. We feel like we are meant to do this. I don't feel stressed. It just comes naturally. There might be days I might feel skepticism when you listen to the world news where there is war in every the corner. Yes, you might feel skeptic, but I do remind myself, keep it very simple, philosophy, do the right thing at that moment. And if the days are tougher, I do have a poem that I always remind myself of. It's by Kenton Keith. Oh yeah, see, it's already there. It gives me strength to go about. I do remind myself of that. So I can just recite few verses.
That'd be great.
So, people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. And if you are honest, people might cheat you. Be honest anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. And give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give the best you have anyway. See, in the end, it was always between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So no matter how much we give, it might not be enough, but probably that is the amount of role we have to play, and we just have to keep doing that. That's what...
I think you're striking a chord with everybody here. Tremendous.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go a little bit off script here and talk to the audience and say, this is not only an inspiration that Shri is here, but also it's a call to action. Okay, so I would highly encourage everybody in this room to just stay in touch with the Pemmasani family. Okay, how do you do that? It's really easy. You can just Google them, keep on track through social media. They have Instagram pages, and it sounds just like Pemmasani. They have 2 Instagram pages that I follow that I love. One's the official one, the Dr. Chandra Pemmasani Instagram page. There's another one that's a fan. It's very entertaining, okay? And it's very motivating and moving. So keep in touch with them, and to the extent that you feel obliged, support them. It doesn't just always have to be money. It could be sharing the story, telling of, with all that being said, if you think about this room, we are all blessed with tremendous networks, resources, and talents. We all have a hand in paying it forward. Shri is an incredible leader, and on behalf of JP Morgan and all the guests here, we cannot thank you enough for being here. It is a true honor, and everybody please give Dr. Pemmasani a tremendous round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Vin. Thank you all. Can I just share one small thing?
Of course.
So in this 1 year of our journey from moving from US, 25 years of this life back to India, we have learned one thing for sure. All of you are successful people here. You are donating for a good cause. But if you can get yourself out there among people in any scale, it could be a school or an organization, it'll be even more inspiring. We have seen that, when you make a donation, you're a fiction. People don't know who made that donation. But when they see you in action, when you show yourself up, it is inspiring for young kids. It gives hope. With the world being this way, when people see honest, hardworking people, it's really inspiring. And we are blessed. People have showered their love. They embraced us, and it motivates us to do more. I think world is in greater need, in dire need of good leaders. I think it's a very good opportunity to go out and show yourself. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share this story.